Hi, welcome to Lit 311. My name is Brooks Winchell, and I'm the professor for the class, Studies in Literary Genres. If you've ever been to Lawrence, you may notice me from here. I'm the Assistant Director of Academics, which means that I do all the undergraduate advising and scheduling. And I also help some students with the writing they're working on. And I teach a handful of classes, sometimes literature, sometimes writing, sometimes research. But this class here, Studies in Literary Genres, is one of my favorite classes. And the reason I like this class is because the idea of studies in genres is very wide. Genre basically means style of literature. So we can read any style of literature, anything that's ever been written in English, basically, since the beginning of time. And we'll even look at some stuff outside of English that's been translated into English. So that gives us a really big pool to choose from. And we're going to hone in on 4 specific genres. Short fiction is a genre, and we're going to look at some William Faulkner, one of my favorite American novelists, Flannery O'Connor, who's really dark and kind of creepy, but also interesting. And we're going to look at John Steinbeck and Ralph Ellison, amongst others. So I think those are just worth it, reading them for their own sake. But we're also going to sort of look at them a little bit closely and see the way they operate. Then we're going to move into poetry. And in our poetry section, we're going to talk about what poems are and how poems work and some of the different elements of poetry. And there again, we're going to read a huge sampling, a pretty big sampling of poets. We'll read some Emily Dickinson and some classic poets, but some newer poets like Martina Spada, and we're even going to read some really old poets like Shakespeare. And then we're going to move to drama, and when we get to drama, I'm not going to make you read Shakespeare. Although we are going to read Oscar Wilde, who's one of the wittiest and funniest playwrights I think that ever existed, and we're going to read his Importance of Being Earnest, which is just hysterical. And among other plays too. Finally, we're going to move into film, and we're going to talk about how literature changes when it's adapted to film. And we're going to look at film as a genre of literature. And then we're going to do a comparative essay. So we're going to get a good sampling of literature across the spectrum and understand the different ways that different genres work. So I think you'll really enjoy it. For the class itself, you'll notice right under this video I have the syllabus posted. Make sure you read that syllabus as soon as possible so you understand the design of the course and the assignments in the course. There's also a place to post general resources or general discussion questions. Feel free to post anything you want there. If you have announcements that you want to make, you could post them there. If you have, come across a great poem, you want to post it there, feel free, whatever you want. Good place for general discussion. Each week is going to be organized as a module. So the weeks will start Monday through Sunday, and there'll be a certain number of things to do for that particular week. So for example, the first week is starting this week. You're going to be doing module 1, and in that module you'll read the learning objectives, which we'll have every week. And then there'll be some readings and instructional materials that help you to attain those learning objectives. And that's one of your major goals, is to attain those learning objectives for the week. Like for instance, understand plot is one of the learning objectives for week 1. There's also going to be some literature, which is going to be the basis for our discussions and our journal assignments and our essays. So each week we'll probably have 2 discussions, and they'll be based on either pieces of fiction or poetries or play that we've been reading for that week. And I'll ask you a prompt, and I'll have you respond to that and get involved in discussions with the other classmates. Plus, each week we'll have a journal, which I'll ask you to upload to me, and I'll read and give you feedback on. And we have 3 essays. So on the weeks that we have essays, we won't have the journals, but there are 3 to 5 page essays that I'll have you write throughout the semester. And our essays are going to be focused on analysis, literary analysis, and comparative analysis. And I'll talk about those 2 things as the semester goes on, but those are going to be the strategies for your literary analysis papers. So that's basically the course, the overview of the course. Feel free to email me anytime if you have questions, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I really think you're going to enjoy this foray into literature. So have a great semester, and I'll be seeing you from week to week.